Arctic Void. Arctic Void tells the story of Ray Marsh, the host of a popular travel show, and his producer Alan is along for the ride. Although their regular cameraman had his visa rejected, they have managed to hire a local named Sean. Get their trip to Norway off on a bad start from the beginning when they arrive at a small Norwegian airport with no transportation arranged to take them to the boat where they need to be. They get lucky and find a ride through a local that Ray chats up outside. Together they board a small boat helmed by Jim and set sail, alongside various other passengers. While en route, Ray and Alan get to know Sean a bit more, have some fun with some of the other passengers, and take in the gorgeous scenery. Something about Sean seems a little bit off, and those suspicions are confirmed when Ray opens a lunchbox that their third wheel carts around, only to find a sound system and a set of headphones. They each take a listen, Ray for a bit longer, to hear the odd whale sounds emitted by the device. Sean does his job well enough on board, capturing footage of the charismatic Captain Jim as well as the various contingents of Swedish tourists, Germans and Norwegian scientists on board, some of which reveals odd and disturbing things. Things such as a bird with no eyes. Alan chats up the latter and learns they are on board to study the region's auroras. As they explain, these are powerful geostorms with the hypothetical power to disable electronic technology, perhaps even the human brain. Not long after the passengers witness a large seal with some conspicuous open wounds, brutally mauling a younger animal of its own kind on an ice floe, Sean begins to notice a few other things off on the deck. A man seems to be bleeding out of his ear, and a flock of birds begins to circle ominously. Everyone on the ship believes there's something supernatural happening. The following day, Ray, Alan and Sean wake up, and the ship is entirely void of people. Everyone is missing, and not a body to be found, dead or alive, with the boat dead in the water and drifting aimlessly. The core duo emerges from below deck and tries to figure out where everyone went. Sean lies and says he was in the bathroom when it all went down. None of the electronics work. It's like everyone else just disappeared into thin air, leaving behind all their stuff. It's a baffling moment for the group as they try to rationalize the situation and work out what they are going to do. They're adrift and have no navigational skills. So, all hope seems lost. That is until they spy a port of some kind and make their way there. Alan begins bleeding from strange gashes. As they try to survive, Alan and Ray's friendship starts to fracture. Alan, the more pragmatic of the two, urges them to find a rational explanation and conserve resources, while Ray becomes increasingly obsessed with the supernatural implications of the disappearances. Sean, typically quiet, seems to know more than he lets on. The trio takes a raft ashore to Svalbard, their original destination, to find no signs of life. Inside an abandoned building, odd and ominous harbingers of abandoned humanity abound, like a flickering TV and a skipping Russian record. Alan's condition further deteriorates, as does his trust in Sean. That confidence completely evaporates when he turns on the digital camera from one of the Germans as they videoed each other just prior to their disappearance, and he spots Sean filming from the deck, thus exposing his dishonesty. When Ray confronts Sean, their shady cameraman finally admits that he is an ex-military operative assigned to document the effects of the exposure to a sonic weapon. Humans are supposed to be merely disoriented by it, not entirely vaporized. His lunchbox headphones provide a countering vibration to the weapon's frequency, inoculating the listener, but not saving them entirely. Alan becomes too weak to leave on the raft, and Ray asks him to film a video on his phone for the family he'll be leaving behind. Sensing a threat, Ray puts the phone and camera inside a waterproof pouch and chunks it out to sea. Walking and talking with Sean, his walkie-talkie lights up with a message: "We have your location. Extraction in 30 minutes. They transport Alan out of the building in a wheelbarrow, and Ray stays behind with him as Sean goes outside to meet the people who make eye contact. Alan continues to teeter on the verge of death. In the throes of his grief, Ray hears a gunshot ring out. Sean takes a sniper's bullet to the back of the head. Inside the room with Ray, an old phone begins to ring, and rings, and rings. The camera bag continues to float in search of someone to discover it.